Yeah.
Yes, sir.
वंदना बैठी वीडियो कॉल में खून खा रही है।
So welcome all of you. First of all, we should build up a rapport to each other. May I know your little introduction? What is your name? From which regional center you are? And then we will start discussion. Should I call the name or one by one?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, Dilpreet. Yeah.
Sir, my name is Dilpreet and I'm from Delhi.
Yeah. Welcome. Vandana Rana. One by one, please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
This is Resham Singh from Amritsar.
Amritsar. Okay. Welcome.
Good evening, sir. Myself, Mrs. Madhura Bedekar. I'm from Pune,
Yeah.
Maharashtra.
Welcome.
Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening, sir. I am Pooja Brodra and I'm from Chandigarh.
Chandigarh. Okay.
Good evening, sir. I am Srilashmi
मैसेज
from
कैसे होगा
Trindra.
इनको? बच्चे मैसेज कर रहे हैं, अपना एनरोलमेंट नंबर लिख रहे हैं।
Good
Hello?
evening, sir. I am Andrea and I am from Kerala.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome.
Good evening, sir.
Good
I
evening.
am Latika and I am from Anantapur Sahib.
Okay. Welcome.
Good evening, sir. I am Deepika from Delhi.
Good evening, sir. I am Ramya from Kerala.
Yeah. Welcome.
Good evening, sir. I am Prasenjit from Andaman.
Sanjeev. Only one male person is there.
Good evening, sir. I am
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. I am Saraswata from Virudhu, Tamil Nadu.
Tamil Nadu. Okay. Welcome.
Good evening, sir. I'm Elarsi from Tamil Nadu.
Tamil Nadu. Okay. Welcome.
Good evening, sir. Myself, Nilima Ahuja from Ahmedabad, Gujarat.
Good evening, sir. I am Srilashmi from Tirunduram.
आप सुन रहे हैं प्रभु.
Good evening, sir. Myself, Mayanka from Hoshiarpur, Punjab.
Okay.
Good evening, sir. I'm Aarti from Mumbai.
Mumbai. Welcome.
Good evening, sir. I am Ravinder from Mumbai.
Mumbai. Yes. Any other? So why we are here? I hope you must have all received your study material and you had jot down some queries, some problems faced by you. Yeah.
Sir, still my study materials are not yet received by me, sir.
Okay.
Same here, sir. Same here. I'm from Pune. Still, I have not received the study material.
Same here, sir.
Sir, I got my
Same,
study materials.
same here, sir. I have no study material.
And what is the meaning of today's counseling session? See, counseling is just kind of problem solving session. Should we start classroom teaching?
Yes, sir.
This is not possible in 2 hours. Okay, I will utilize this period for fruitful. Okay, then I should start with kind of some PPT. Actually, I was in impression that you must have your study material and you will raise the queries and we will try to find out the solutions. And this is the actual meaning of counseling. Academic counseling means once you read your study material, you jot down some problems which is not understandable by you or which is kind of difficult you are facing, and this session will solve your problem related to your study material. But no issue, we will start some kind of sort of discussion with the help of your study material. So I am sharing one kind of PPT and we will discuss. Is it visible?
No, sir.
No, sir, it is not visible.
No.
Okay, let me try. Let me try. Let me try. Just wait for a minute. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Now it is clearly visible.
Okay. So our today's topic is introduction to education with special reference to preschool education. As you are enrolled in postgraduate diploma in pre-primary education, so I'm trying to reach with all of you. Should I use the medium of instruction English only or somebody from Hindi background?
Sir, Hindi.
So we will take both kind of Hindi or English. I will use both kind of words. So in this session, we will discuss the meaning and nature of education. This is from your study material and scope of education, nature of early childhood education. I think light is gone. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And next is goals of early childhood care education. So before going to kind of early childhood care and care education, we should know what is education. Do you know what is education? Anybody, please? What is education? It starts from beginning, even pre-birth to end of the life. It is continuous process. What do you mean by education? Anybody else?
Sir, education is a process, whom to tombs. Means from the beginning means in the premature form, the education will start, and in the life means end of the life, the education also continue. In between this, they are acquiring some abilities and so many other
Yeah. Can
like
you cite one example? Then education start from kind of beginning.
mother who
Historical example?
historical mother in Arjuna's wife,
Yeah.
hearing some story that also her son also able
Yeah.
to hearing that story.
The name of son was Abhimanyu.
Yes.
Yeah. So education take place from the very beginning of birth. It is a kind of uh, premature age. Anyone other please? कोई हिंदी में बताएं?
So it's the drawing out of the best in the child.
Only best.
You know, whatever the qualities he has through the education, it's the
Yeah.
tool.
Yeah. Yeah. From Punjab, Amritsar. अमृतसर से एक मैडम है हिंदी में, क्या है शिक्षा? No. One more, please. Anyone? Okay. See, if I talk word meaning, an education is derived from Latin word educare. Educare means edu plus care. And if we see the meaning of educare, it is a kind of nourish, to nourish the child. And one friend uh, told us very rightly to bring up the ability, the traits from the learner by the education. Or you can say to lead out whatever inbuilt in the child, to lead out, this is also education. Or to draw out, these all words are the synonyms. If we go the word meaning, education is leading the child out of darken into the light. अंधेरे से उजाले की तरफ जो ले जाती है शिक्षा उसे कहते हैं, या ऐसे दूसरी तरह से पढ़िए, शिक्षा बच्चे को अंधकार से उजाले की तरफ ले जाती है. इफ आई टॉक संस्कृत मीनिंग, शिक्षा 6 धातु से बना है और 6 धातु में जिसका मतलब है सीखना, समथिंग न्यू, that is education. So this is the kind of word meaning. Over the period, many philosophers have given so many definitions. Like some Indian thinkers named Swami Vivekanand, Sri Aurobindo, Rabindranath Tagore, and Mahatma Gandhi. And there are so many Western thinkers, Socrates, Aristotle, Froebel, Rousseau, and Albert Einstein. Anybody will tell me what Vivekanand said about education? See, GNU study material is available on eGyan course. So please kindly read the GNU study material before coming to the counseling. This is because this is not one-way teaching. This is kind of interaction with you to solve your problems, your issues. So this is the first day that I am taking with my PPT. Otherwise, it is requested to kindly read your study material. So Swami Vivekananda said, education is the manifestation of that divine perfection already existing in the man. व्यक्ति के अंदर जो ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्ट है उसको बाहर निकालना ही शिक्षा है. Similarly, Aurobindo has quote some definition that education is that what will offer the tool whereby one can lead a divine life for the country, for oneself, and for the others. This definition given by Aurobindo. And Rabindranath Tagore has also given wonderful definition that education is that which make one's life in harmony. व्यक्ति को समानता का, व्यक्ति को समान जैसा सीखने का, समान लाने का, समानता लाने का जो काम करती है वो शिक्षा करती है. That is education. Mahatma Gandhi has also given wonderful definition. He said by education, and he given a definition quoting his name. By education, I means Mahatma Gandhi means education is all round drawing out of the best in the child and man, body, mind and spirit. जो व्यक्ति के शरीर, मस्तिष्क और स्पिरिट का निर्माण करती हो, वह शिक्षा है। Am I audible? क्योंकि इधर लाइट नहीं है, there is no light here.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
And let me check with my light. So please wait 1 minute only. लाइट को no power backup will complete. It is only for half an hour only. Kindly do needful. Yeah, light is not there. I am here with UPS. I don't know कब तक चलेगा ये. Anyway, ढिलन साहब, RS Dhillon, are you listening me? Have you heard Rousseau?
Yes, sir.
What he said about education?
He said that education is the natural development of organs and the body and all these things. I think
Yeah.
this is what he said.
He was a naturalist.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
He said that education is nothing. It is the kind of natural environment in which learners or child build up his abilities, his traits, his qualities.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me any example or anybody tell and what Rousseau said about the uh, development of child? I'm telling you one story. Rousseau said, if one child wants to visit with the fire, let him or her go. अगर कोई बच्चा आग के पास जाना चाहता है तो उसको जाने दीजिए. When he will find out kind of heat, then he will run back or he will be away from the fire. रूसो ने कहा कि आप उनको ये मत कहिए कि आप उस आग के पास मत जाइए. Don't say. Let him feel. Like so many philosophers criticize him. No, this is not true, because there are so many things which cannot be given as an example. सी अगर कोई कहे कि एक छत से कूद जाइए, देखते हैं कि चोट लगेगी नहीं लगेगी, तो दिस इट कैन नॉट बी regularized. But definitely Rousseau contribution is more. He was the naturalist, and he find that most of the development of the child in good environment means on with nature. एक और हमारे फिलोसफर रहे हैं, उन्होंने कहा कि प्रकृति की तरफ लौटो. Who said that? Go towards nature. Indian philosopher. Okay. So, come to the Western philosopher. Socrates also given some definition about the education. He said education is the bring out of the ideas of universal validity which are the latent in the mind of every man. See why I am discussing this, because before going to the early child care education, we should aware what is the meaning, what is the definition of education. Actually, if you would have learned your study material, then I will start with your queries and question answering. But most of all, you have not received your study material. So I am sharing kind of PPT. See, there are two type of meaning of education. One is broader and second is narrower. Broader means we cover all aspect of education because it starts from conception and end with that. This is the kind of broader. It continuous process. An individual goes to the increasing his knowledge as she or he learn through experience or interaction with the peer group, with the environment. This is the given this definition given by the Bhatia, and he was the great educationist. Yes, please. What you want? Just a minute. Wait. So, education is lifelong process. No age bar to learn something new. If you see the example of IGNU, there are so many age group learners, 18 age group, even 80 age group. Why? Because education is endless process. One can learn at any time, at any stage, from anywhere. This is the kind of broader meaning of education. एक व्यक्ति किसी भी एज में कहीं भी किसी से भी सीख सकता है, क्योंकि एजुकेशन को कहा है कि दिस इज द एंडलेस प्रोसेस. If we talk a narrower meaning of education, education is intentional. Means हम बच्चे को जो सिखाते हैं एक इंटेंशन के साथ सिखाते हैं. अगर मैथ्स के हम टीचर हैं तो हम मैथ्स ही सिखाएंगे उसको. We will not talk about Hindi and English. Other education is planned. Planned means there are levels. Education at elementary level, education at pre-primary level, education as tertiary level, education as higher education level, education as senior secondary. So education is kind of in planned mean. And the next is it is well defined curriculum. The curriculum of 6th class is defined. इसमें हमें इस particular subject में इतना ही portion पढ़ाना है, इससे ज़्यादा नहीं पढ़ाना है. And it is a kind of imparted and well structured institution. मीन्स अगर हमें 6th क्लास को पढ़ाना है तो वो सेकेंडरी स्कूल में ही होंगे या एलिमेंट्री स्कूल में ही होंगे. 10th होगा तो सेकेंडरी होगा, 12th होगा तो सीनियर सेकेंडरी होगा. और अगर ग्रेजुएशन की बात करें देन वो ग्रेजुएशन आपको कॉलेज में ही बच्चों को पढ़ाना है. तो दिस इज द काइंड ऑफ नैरो मीनिंग ऑफ एजुकेशन. nature of education. What is the nature of education? And why I am discussing? Because this is I jot down from your study material. Nature of education. Philosopher said that education is a process. Process means, as we have already discussing that education be considered as a lifelong process. It begins at birth and continues throughout the life. The child learns through his experiences when he or she came into the contact with the different social institutions. Social institution means like person, place, things. The first place of learning for the child is their home, and the first teacher is mother. There is no end to this. It goes on forever. Thus, education is an active and dynamic process. While considering the education as a process, we may also distinguish between the bipolar and tripolar education. Can anybody tell how it is bipolar? If we take a line, then one side is child and second side is teacher. This is the bipolar system of education. Then what is tripolar process of education?
It's a teacher, child, and society.
Yeah, it is a teacher, child, and society. This is the tripolar process of education. And some philosophers said that education is a product. How it is a product? Anybody else? How it is a project? Product? Teacher, society, family members gives their input. Knowledge, traits. This is the kind of product which comes into the child. Prasenjit, are you listening me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, one philosopher said that education is a modification of behavior. Is it true?
Yes, sir.
Can you cite the example?
Because सर एक इलिटरेट पर्सन को अगर एजुकेट किया जाए तो उसका थिंकिंग में डिफरेंस आएगा, जो कि एक इलिटरेट और एजुकेशन में डिफरेंस दिखाता है. जैसे कि एक गांव का कोई भी इलिटरेट हो और शहर का एक एजुकेटेड पर्सन हो, तो उसमें कुछ डिफरेंस थिंकिंग में आएगा.
Okay. Anybody else? Vandana Rana?
Sir, I think something which adds to our knowledge is called education.
Okay, good. Any other? Make it interactive. I am not teacher, I am counselor. There is a big
Because
difference.
educated people will behave good in the public places. So education definitely modifies the behavior of the people.
Okay, Good. Anyone? R.S. Dhillon ji?
Yes, sir. I think education is for modification of the behavior, because when a child learns, uh, he interacts with something like you cite an example of a fire.
Yeah.
Then when he gets the knowledge that it is dangerous, then the concept he learns is a long life process, and that's why he modifies his behavior. And there's so many examples like this.
Okay. एक्चुअली यहाँ लाइट नहीं है, देर इज नो लाइट. तो देखते हैं कब तक क्लास चले. अगर बंद हो जाए तो आप समझ जाइए कि लाइट नहीं आया. देर इज नो लाइट.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
या तो देन एजुकेशन इज डेवलपमेंट. मधुरा बेडेकर जी,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
how we can say that education is development? Any idea?
It can be ability to think beyond the contributions of society.
Yeah.
Might be some sort of.
Good. Very near to the kind of definition which is given by the Indian educators. That education is the development of the native endowments and inherent potentialities of the individual. The whole process of development, which is caused by learning from experience, is called education. Education is direction, because it tells us what is right, what is wrong. It gives kind of direction to every child, and it is possible because of education. Second is education is guidance. Yes, of course, education is guidance. Whatever we learn at every age, from our teachers, from our counselors, from our doctors, from our friends, from our peer group, it play a role in the form of guidance. Education is adjustment. Yes, it is adjustment, because a learner makes learning continuously, but sometimes he modify his or her behavior to cope up with the challenges of the physical and social environment. Therefore, it is called that education is adjustment. And last, about the education is a social science. This is from your study material, but I would say it is not only social science, it is science, because that teaches how to learn in the society, how to uh, live in the different kind of environment, and that is possible with the combination of science and social science. So I would say education is social science as well as science. Next, scope of education. Something we have already discussed, because education provides training in citizenship, facilitates social developments, open new avenues of knowledge, spread awareness, and help in decision making. How it is provide kind of citizenship? Every country education system is different. The first aim of the education is to make good citizen. So country wise, we can say that education provide a training in citizenship that we are Indian. If we see our curriculum, our education system, that tells that we are Indian. It's also facilitate in social development. If you are graduate, then proudly you say that yes, I am graduate from this university or this institution, and that's convert into the kind of human resource of nation. It also open the avenues of knowledge, different kind of knowledge. It may be social, it may be political, it may be kind of it expand the knowledge horizons. Spread awareness means education spread awareness. It enable us to differentiate between right and wrong. It's also define awareness about our duties, our emerges through the education, what is the right. Education also help in decision making. If you are graduate, then your decision making will be kind of different. If you are plus two, then your decision making will be kind of different. Definitely the level of decision making depends on education. It also help to enhance the confidence. The person having different kind of education, a different level of education, definitely their confidence level might be different. If you see the person is master in business administration, so definitely he or her have high level of decision making. इसीलिए आपने देखा होगा कि बहुत सारे इंस्टीट्यूट में जहाँ डिसीजन मेकिंग से रिलेटेड अगर कोई एवेन्यू है, कोई जॉब है, तो वहाँ पर एमबीए को प्रेफरेंस मिलता है. So these are the scopes of education. So we are going towards our topic. You know, the education defined in various levels. Pre-primary, birth to UKG, or somewhere it is called prep. Primary 1 to 5th class, elementary 6 to 8th class, secondary 9 to 10, and senior secondary 10, 11th and 12th. Tertiary means higher education. It goes bachelor onward up to the PhD or DLit, whatever. And in this class, in this session, we all are going to discuss the first one only, pre-primary, means birth to UKG or prep. And the name is defined at pre-school education. School में जाने से पहले education. Because first class is the kind of constitutionally right that first class will be the first ladder of the education in a school. Although we are running so many institutions known as kindergartens, known as play schools, known as uh, pre-primary schools. There are so many nomenclatures. Earlier it was kind of voluntary, then we will discuss in detail. But now, as per NEP 2020, you must all be aware that it is kind of legalized and regularized. लगभग लास्ट एजुकेशन पॉलिसी वाज इन 1986, लगभग 34 साल बाद, आफ्टर 34 ईयर, नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 2020 is a landmark to regularize the early childhood care education. Before that, it was not discussed or not documented in any of education policy. So importance of this preschool education is going to be more important in coming days. And definitely you are earning whatever you are earning from IGNU in the name of degree, that is going to be help the nation, because in future, it is my opinion that demand will be increased for the pre-primary education, school teachers, pre-primary school counselors, pre-primary schools, resource persons, counselors. So that's why education policy talk about this pre-education schools and pre-school education. So next is, what is the history of preschool education? In the first time, Plato stressed upon the education for young child in 2000 years ago. लगभग 2000 साल पहले प्लेटो ने इस तरह की बात की कि प्री स्कूल एजुकेशन होनी चाहिए. Then Comenius, he talked about infant education at home and under the leadership, under the support of mother. Thereafter, Robert Owen also founded infant schools in Scotland in 18th century. Rousseau has also given a kind of stress on child education in the lap of nature. The most important time for this preschool education starts from the Froebel, because he is a founder of kindergarten schools, or you may say the modern preschools. Can anybody tell what is the meaning of kindergarten? It is a kind of very near to naturalism.
Studying with playthings like toys, shapes like
Okay.
that.
Okay. और कोई? Anybody else? Kindergarten means the garden of child, बच्चों का बागीचा. और बच्चों के कोई भी बागीचा हो, उसमें एक माली भी होता है. यहाँ बच्चों के बगीचा में जो टीचर्स होगा, वो उनको बच्चों को शार्पन का काम करेगा. मीन्स बच्चा यहाँ पर एक फ्लावर है या एक प्लांट है, और स्कूल और जो आपके क्लासरूम कहिए, दैट इज ए गार्डन, एंड टीचर इज ए मॉडी उसको जो बच्चे को जो शार्पन करता है, बच्चों को जो मेंटर करता है, तो वहाँ इसको माली का रूप दिया है. तो फ्रॉबेल हैज गिवन हिज आइडिया kindergarten, and there are so many schools running as a preschools. Thereafter Maria Montessori, आपने नाम सुना होगा मॉन्टेसरी स्कूल. अभी आपने सुना होगा, कहाँ पढ़े हैं? मॉन्टेसरी स्कूल में पढ़े हैं. In early 20th century, she started preschools in Italy, and name was Casa de Bambini, means house of children. He not only started the Montessori school in Italy, he came to India also and met with Mahatma Gandhi ji. Mahatma Gandhi ji was the kind of founder of basic education. Then ideology more or less was same. 1940 she came to India and started number of preschools. And India she named as Montessori school, but it was limited to big cities only. And she not only opened a school, she trained a number of teachers, because the system of Montessori school was kind of different from Indian philosophy. In India, two people help her, Gijubhai Badeka and Tarabai Modak. These people help in opening of Montessori school in India. Mahatma Gandhi ji also, as I already told you, Mahatma Gandhi ji also supported her, as he was also in opinion to promote the pre-basic education in India throughout the voluntary efforts. Mahatma Gandhi ji was in opinion that basic education should be promoted by voluntary, and reason behind, because education that time, Gandhi ji was in favor of education. That time Macaulay education system was inbuilt, so it could not success that time. But right now, basic education is described in new education policy 2020 also, and government scheme that we should promote the basic education in the schools of India. So many commissions, Indian commissions came into India. 1964 Kothari commissions. Daulat Singh Kothari has given a detailed path to the Indian education at the primary level. But it was for primary education. It was very slightly for pre-education, but it can gives the kind of path to other commissions. So let me first discuss about the Kothari Commission 1964 to 1966. The main thrust of the commissions of the policy was to develop good habits and skills in the child, which are necessary in day-to-day life, like how to clean, what to dress, what to eat, washing, and even toilet habits. The learner or child should be aware about these kind of day-to-day habits and skills. Policy talk about to develop the social attributes and manners for healthy group participation, playing with the peer groups, even learning with the peer groups, even know the relations of family members, that he is my uncle or she is my auntie. It should also be sorry, tell the child about the relations. Policy also said that education means to develop the emotional maturity, to express and understand the feelings, to encourage aesthetic appreciations, to stimulate the beginning of intellectual curiosity, to understand the world. What is India and what is the neighbor country of India? This should be aware by the child, and that was the main thrust of policy document. To foster the new interest through experiments, to encourage independence and creativity and self-expression of the child, to develop the child ability and clear speech. If you remember, गांव में जो बच्चे कई बार साफ साफ नहीं बोल पाते थे तो उनको भी बोलना सिखाया जाता था, स्कूल में बोलना सिखाया जाता था. दैट वाज द काइंड ऑफ मेन ट्रस्ट ऑफ द एजुकेशन. एंड एजुकेशन शुड डेवलप द गुड फिजिक, मीन्स ट्रेनिंग बच्चों को दी जाए टू डेवलप द गुड फिजिक, एडुकेट मस्कुलर basic motor skills in the child. So this was the discussed in the Kothari Commission, or you may say the Indian Education Commission 1964. There are some development areas in preschool education, means physical, social and emotional development. This it should be the main thrust of pre-primary education. Communication, language and literacy. Mathematical development, it should also be taken care. Mathematical development means kind of pre-knowledge of 3 R's. Can anybody tell what is the meaning of 3 R? क्या है 3 R? If we talk about or we relate with mathematics. Three R means reading, writing and arithmetic. Mile, this is the main development area of preschool education. Creative development. See, child is very creative, and it is the duty of teacher to provide the environment, to provide the group, to provide the opportunities so that he or she can do kind of creative work. कुछ छोटे छोटे बीच में से सवाल बच्चे पूछते हैं. If you remember, you must be engaged in primary or pre-primary schools. अगर पृथ्वी को, if earth divided in 2 parts, what will happen? छोटे छोटे बच्चे बहुत छोटे छोटे क्वेश्चंस पूछते हैं कि अगर हम पृथ्वी को 2 भागों में बांट दें तो कैसा दिखेगा अंदर से पृथ्वी. छोटी छोटी क्वालिटी, छोटी छोटी क्रिएटिविटी, छोटे छोटे small questions all should answered by the teacher, by the counselor. And as we have already discussed, understanding of the word, this is also pre-education. If you remember the story of late Indira Gandhi and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू अक्सर देश के लिए हमेशा जेल में होते थे एंड इंदिरा जी वाज अलोन विदाउट फादर विदाउट मदर with some caretakers. Then Nehruji was used to write a letter to her daughter about the world, geographical things, political things, and you must be aware that letters was published in the form of book. Can anybody tell what is the name of that book? No one. The letter of father to the child. पिता के पत्र पुत्री के नाम. अगर कभी मौका मिले आपको, go to the publish house and try to read that book. Next, pre-childhood care and education, that I think we have discussed. Yeah, early childhood care and education. This is the kind of historical background of early child care education. Shift from preschool towards early child care education. Earlier, the education up to the level of age of 6 years was known as preschools. Now, after the independence, it has nomenclature as early child care education. And to achieve the purpose of this early child care education, a central social welfare board was also set up in 1953 to provide the grant and aid to voluntary bodies which were running Montessori school or kindergarten schools. To reach out and to achieve the target, reproductive child health RCH scheme under the Department of Health and Family Welfare was also established. Integrated Child Development Services ICDS under the Ministry of Women and Child Development, and these two departments are exist in present also. In broader word, early child care education aims is to provide care and education to child from birth till 6 year age, which include formal education, informal education. Informal education means whatever child learn at their home from the mother, father, and grandfather, or you may say from all family members. So this is known as informal education. Early child care education, there are so many stages of early child care education. One is prenatal education from conception to birth. तो आपको अभिमन्यु का एक एग्जाम्पल दिया, द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ अभिमन्यु. Then postnatal education from birth to 2 से 2.5 साल to year to 2.5 years. Then third is pre-nursery education, 2.5 year to 4 years. And fourth is pre-primary education from 4 to 6 years. Means early child care education includes birth to 6 years age of child. And first two stages are very crucial for the healthy growth of child because child lives in the environment of home with mothers and their family members. And last two stages means pre-nursery education and pre-primary education are also important for readiness for 3 R's. As I already discussed, 3R means reading, writing, and arithmetics. These last two stages are important for readiness for 3 R's and all-round development of the child. All-round development means physical, mental, and cognitive.
Social.
Then, what are the significance of early child care education? For proper growth and development of every child, care and education are essential. This is the significance of early child care education. Early child care education helps children in all-round development, that is physical and psychomotor. For universalization of elementary education, the elementary education start from 6 to 8, or some philosopher said that it starts from 1st to 8. Early child care education support children for survival, for development, for learning about the health, nutrition, hygiene, cognitive, social, physical, and emotional development. So these are the significance of early childhood care education. And these are the objectives of early child care education: to develop the child healthy physique, muscular coordination, and basic motor skills; to develop in the child good health habit and build basic skills necessary for the personal adjustment, such as dressing, eating, washing, cleaning; to develop the desirable social attributes and manners; to encourage healthy group participation; and to make the child sensitive to the rights and privileges of others. So these are the objective of early child education. The important role of Anganwadi also take place. Anganwadi also had provisions of supplementary nutrition to the children, regular health checkup by the health functionaries, and immunization also. Anganwadis provide nutrition and health education to the mothers. Anganwadi not only care the child, even they educate their mothers, developing the children readiness for the primary schools. Anganwadi also take the various learning activities like storytelling, poem recitation, singing, color, shape recognition, group games, forming good habit like washing hand, sharing things, etc. So these are the because Anganwadi Kendras also work under the early childhood care education. Next is national goal. There are so many constitutional provisions like Article 21A of Indian Constitution talk about the free and compulsory education up to the level of 14 years age. Article 45 also talk about that education should be free at the up to the elementary level. Means it's also educate, it also advocate that education should be, or state should take responsibility to provide the free and compulsory education up to the age of 14 years. Even Right to Education Act also said, it came into the 2009. It also talk about the education to the child. And there are so many education commissions came in India, like senior secondary commissions, which we will discuss in next classes, next sessions. Indian education systems, we have thrown some light on this recommendation of Indian Education System Education Commission, which is also known as Kothari Commission. National Policy on Education, and in 1992, program of action was also came, and it advocated the operation of blackboard. He ensured that blackboard, chalk, duster should be available in every school and every class. And the foremost, the new education policy 2020, it also talk about the early child education in detail, in more detail. Even so many 5 years plans came in India after the post independence, and in every 5 year plan, government India thrust was to promote pre-primary education, and for that they have given financial budgetary allocation also, and therefore so many prep schools, so many Montessori schools were came into the existence. Next is right to education and preschool education. Right to education 2009 age came into the force from 1st April 2010, and advocate free and compulsory education to every children 6 to 14 years as provided by the Article 21st of Indian Constitution. But RTE, please mind it, RTE not included 0 to 6 years because it is the part of early child care education. Then Article 45 says that the state shall endeavor to provide early child care education for all children until they complete the age of 6 years. So this is from my side. If anybody has any questions, because there is no light here. Yeah. Any questions, please? So we will meet tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
You too, sir.
Thank you, sir.